am Ali Juno, and this is my Crafty Corner. Welcome. If you are a new viewer, appreciate you coming in. I hope you enjoy the video. I am a little sporadic at times. I forget what I'm thinking, but it's life. If you are a returning viewer, I appreciate you coming in. I'm pretty sure you're getting aware of my little quirks. So this is my Stitch With Me number 16. It is Sunday, September the 26th, right? Yes. And we are stitching on my pattern called Two Dragons. I got it off Etsy, and I will have the link posted in my description below. If you like what you're seeing, please, feel free to subscribe and hit the little bell, so it'll tell you when I post my videos. I post 90% of the time. I post 2 times a week. I post floss tubes on Wednesdays, and then I do Stitch With Me's on the weekends. If I miss a Stitch With Me, I normally end up making up the Stitch With Me's, or sometimes if I have time I will combine them with my floss tube, because my floss tubes are pretty short. Stitch With Me's are normally about an hour. Sorry, my watch was a little tight. I had to loosen it. So, we're going to get started on this. I have my glass of tea. Oops, show you. I like drinking sweet tea when I'm working on my cross stitch. I drink sweet tea most of the day, but so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, my pattern is called Two Dragons. I am working, this is 22 count Hardigan. No idea how to say the names of fabric properly, but this is 22 count fabric. I'm doing 1/1. I am doing the diagonal cross stitch on this one. I'm going to try to make sure I keep my fingers out of the way and not unthread it. I'm thinking, might keep counting how many times I unthread my needle, because I tend to do that a lot. I either don't let go of the thread soon enough, or I just pull it right on out without even realizing it. So, let's see. Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh yes. I'm doing 1/1 diagonal stitch. I had started this out in the square, the block 10 by 10 diagonal. Like I had block, each block was filled in a row in a diagonal. And then I've slowly been getting pulled into actual doing diagonal stitch. Almost messed up there, but I caught myself, so that's not a problem. Yeah, so let's see. I have one question to answer. I kind of answered it in the post before, but I will go ahead and answer it on stream as well. Let's see, I don't really have a whole lot on life events. But we'll talk about a little bit about what was going on life-wise and a few. For at the moment, let's discuss the question that I was asked. Sorry for the wiggly frame. Let me make sure where I'm at. Alright. No. Heard a noise. I was checking on it. That was my cat. So the question they asked was like, in my last stitch with me, I did my stitch, I did a bunch of legs across, like this. I just did the half stitch, and then I came back and filled them in. So like I went all the way across, filled them in, and then came back. Okay. And then I came back over them. I'm not gonna, like I would go back this way, but I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in here because it's, I don't need to go any further over. And they were asking if it changes my stitches any in the way they look than when I do the full cross. I myself do not notice any change. Oops, sorry. I'm parking this over here out of view. Oops, if I can count. Give me just a second. 7, 9. All right. That strand is done for now. But no, I don't see any difference in my stitches if I decide to go, you know, just do the half stitches across. The reason I only do that, and I do it sometimes when it's convenient for the stitch. So like if I know that this is gonna come all the way across here, and then I need to go this way, but I don't have any more stitches on this end, what I'll do is I'll go all the way across with half stitches, come back down, and then continue doing my full cross all the way across to get over closer to where my next X is. That way I can use as little thread as need, you know, words. That way I don't use, you know, a lot of extra thread, you know. It's just like, instead of like doing it here and then getting this one down over here and then my next stitch is over here, I just wasted a couple of stitches. So doing it this way, I ended up saving a little bit of thread so that I can, you know, I don't know, I just like being as what is the word? I like to conserve thread as much as possible. Just, if I don't have to waste the thread, then I don't want to. Yeah. So, but 90% of the time I do full X's, because I used to do just the half X, but I tend to space, and if I do too many, I end up leaving an X unfinished. You know, so I try not to go too far, too many rows. I don't know. Like if I had like 3 rows of just X's, I would confuse myself on where I needed to stitch. Don't ask me why. I just would. Alright, give me just a second. I gotta pull up here. This one is way over here again. You know, it's not in your view, but let's see. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that over there. Mark that I did it. Alright. Now it's time for the next color. Give me just a second. I'm looking. Which way is the best way to go with this thread? Okay. And with this one, yes. All right. Sorry about that. This with all the colors, I'm just trying to make sure I do the right stitches where they're supposed to go. Let's see. Yeah, so I do the full X's just because for me, I like having the X done unless I need to map out a pattern, map my path is the way I see it, is like if I need to end up in a different location, then I will map it and do the half X's all the way across. Hopefully that has answered the questions that you had and not confused you anymore. Let's see. Let's get into the discussion about my week. I'm gonna move this. Move. I'm gonna put that there. Move one of my needle miters around. All right, so my week has not, it's not been a crazy week, thankfully. See, I'm gonna actually do what I was just talking about, because I'm not gonna need to be on this side, I need to be on that side. So, my week, let's see, I did my floss tube on Wednesday. Well, I did it on Tuesday, posted it on Wednesday. I did like doing that, and probably will consist of filming it on Tuesday and posting it on Wednesday morning. See, in that floss tube, I made the decision that I wasn't going to continue to work on my big projects. Or I might have made that decision the week before. I don't remember. I just know I haven't really worked on any of my full coverage projects recently. This is the first time I've stitched on any of my full coverage projects. And I think since I don't know, I think it's been 2 weeks. I'll have to double check, as I'm not 100% sure. 4 and 6. I think this is right. Give me just a second. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. I need to go over 1. Alright. That'll go on down. So I've mostly been stitching on my small projects because they're Christmas presents and I would like to get them completed so that because I have till December to get them completed. So I haven't been working on any of my big projects. Like I haven't worked on the 2 dragons, the harmony, my kitten. Yeah, those are my 3. big projects. So I haven't been working on any of them. So I was planning on working on one of the Biscornus today, but I've already been stitching on it, and I already put the stitches that I wanted to do for the day in it. So I decided we were gonna do something different. Is it here? Making sure I'm in the right spot. There's one. There's two. Hold on, I'm miscounting. 1, 2, 3, 4. And over. Correct? I think that's correct. Yeah. That should be correct. Pull that back down. But I've made a lot of progress on my other Stitch With Me's. I've been rotating through all of them. They are I've worked on both Biscornus. I've worked on my bookmark and my pre-stamped one as well. But I figure, I know last weekend I worked on a new start, which was the Biscornu. But I think I'm going to leave my weekends more for my full coverage ones, so that I get to work on them. Because otherwise they won't get any stitching in. So when I do my Stitch With Me, I will be picking one of my full coverages. I think next weekend, my goal, unless something changes, is it's going to be a live Stitch With Me instead of a pre-filmed. I think I want to try to start planning the live Stitch With Me's like at least once a month at the beginning, and maybe every 2 weeks. Is this right? Yes. Yeah, so do Stitch With Me's live stream every 2 weeks, and do the Stitch With Me videos the other days of the week, the other weekends. That's the goal, that's the plan, but we will see. Life doesn't ever really go as we plan. Alright. So that was my stitch. Trying to make sure where I'm at. So I did that stitch. So now I'm down here. And should be here with 1 and 3. All right. Mark my stitches. All right. That one's done. That one's in the next row. Yeah, I have really been enjoying the diagonal. I'm still not done with it yet. Alright. Yeah, we're going to do this one next. Let me have my thread. Thank you. I miss stitching my diagonals because all the projects I've been working on recently are all small projects, no backgrounds, so there's no parking in them. You know, I don't really see how they're diagonal. And I've noticed that on projects like that, I tend to stay pretty close to the area that I'm working on, I guess is the best way to say it. Like I fill in each area. I don't skip around a lot on the patterns. Like I'm filling in the elephant right now, and I'm going to sit there and complete the elephant before I move on to the next area. Like I could easily move to a new row, like leave the elephant partially finished and just continue with the color elsewhere. No, I have this compulsion that I have to have the elephant finished before I can start anywhere else. Alright, so let's try this again. My phone froze up, got overheated. I am definitely going to have to get a new phone case because since I've gotten this phone case, it does not like to do the stitch with me's without freezing, like overheating on me. It's the only time it does it is when I'm doing my stitch with me's. I can do my floss tubes, I can do, you know, any other thing, and it never overheats. But I start doing my stitch with me's, and about 15 minutes in, it overheats. So, I am back, and I was talking, I believe I was talking about the elephant biscornu, how I have to complete the colors. Where am I? Okay. Yeah, so I complete the colors. I want to complete the design that the area that I'm working on. I'm not very good at sporadic stitching, cross-country stitching at all. With my stamped pattern, I've started working on the flower in it, and I have to finish the flower before I will go anywhere else with it. Oh, why'd I do that? I needed to go up here. Oh well, I just wasted thread, which I don't like to do. There. Ooh, excuse me, hiccup. Got a little sidetracked on what I was doing, but it's all good. The stitches got done. Yeah, so on the stamped one, I've got the flower, but it's like I have to finish that flower before I proceed to the next area. I can't leave it unfinished. Not that one. Okay, so probably gonna pick this one. Sorry, I'm planning my path. I have a tendency to do that. Like I look at my pattern keeper And it's like, okay, if I choose this one, then it's going to take me over here. All right, so that should be this one, which this one is almost out of thread. So this may be an end thread. Maybe. We will see. It has a few stitches in this square. Okay. Just trying to make sure my phone doesn't overheat again. Yeah, I think this is going to be an end thread. There's not a lot of thread here. I have a little bit of a jump up to hit the area that needs to go. So we'll see. Nope, not there. All right, so I think that's about all I've got on talking about my stitchy things at the moment. At least how I don't like my not to work in the same area. I know I watch a lot of Stitch with Me's and I see, you know, like people working in the top right corner and then decide they want to change and then they jump down to, like, you know, they just continue to a whole nother area and keep stitching. I don't know. I like seeing the pattern come to life in order, I guess. You know, I don't want to jump to the best bits because then I won't do the least bit, you know, the least happy parts. And I totally skipped a piece. Oh well. Yeah, this has got one more stitch and then I'm going to end it. There's not much thread left on this to go any further. So we're going to do a loop finish. So I did my half stitch. I came up this hole, went down this hole, then I came back up this hole. Now I'm going back down and I'm going up the fourth hole there. I'm gonna go through the loop I made, and there we go. Now I've tightened it off and I'm going back down. So I go up and down this one hole a total of 3 times, and then I pull it up and under, and then with this I'm just gonna go down a little bit. I'm just doing a little half stitch, pin stitch. And now I'm snipping the thread because it's done. Oops, sorry. Now I'm throwing my thread away in my cute little thread box. All right, so that is that. Now my next one, yep, we're gonna do that one. I try to grab the pieces that have the least amount in it first, and then once I've got those, then I grab the ones that have the most. Go. Oops. Really sorry. That was a total bumble. Yeah. words. I totally did not mean to bump that so bad and shake up the camera. I really need to look into investing in a different camera. And I wish I knew how to stabilize my stand just a little more. I have weights on the base, but it's still pretty wiggly. But then again, I do have a long scroll bar on it that keeps it unbalanced. But oh well. Alright, so now we're going here. And I'm going to be doing my, half cross stitches to get to where I need to go, because there's no sense in doing a full cross stitch because this is up here in the top corner. And that's the only one up here. So now we're going to go back down. And that's why I did these in stitches here. So now I just fill these back in. I didn't even know I pulled the thread off my needle. Is that the second time I've done that so far, or the third? I think it's the second time on camera, because the third time was when the camera messed up. And that's when I noticed that it went bad. Because I looked up talking and I noticed that that was not the screen I was on. Still showed my hand in the camera. And I didn't have my hand in the camera at the time, so. Okay. That goes here. Not much left on there, but I still can get a few stitches out of that strand. So let me mark my stop. I could continue down, but I just want to work the 10 by 10 square. I'm not going any further than the 10 by 10 box. It's not a square, diagonal. I'm doing the 10 by 10 diagonal. I could easily continue down until I use the last of the thread, but I don't know, I like the idea of just working in the 10 by 10 section. It helps me not get quite so confused on where I'm at. Let's see. This one. Yeah, we'll do that one. Let's see if I can, which one is that? It is not this one. It is this one. There we go. Place the threads. Place the threads out of your way. Next week, most of the week is going to be like I don't know how much stitching I'm going to get done next week, I guess is the best way to think about it. Because we are actually, am I in the right spot? Yeah. Because they have actually called us into the office next week. So that's going to be interesting. As I haven't been in the office to work in the office since December of 2019. Because I was working from home just before the pandemic hit. So yeah, 2019. They've called us back in the office once. No, was it? Might have been in February that I ended up back in the office. I don't remember. It's been over a year since I've been back to the office. That I know for sure. So they're having us come into the office on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it's going to be an interesting experience being back in the office. But after those 3 days, then we're back to work to home. We got clients coming in, new clients coming into the office, or old clients coming into the office. I don't know. They're just calling us into the office because somebody's coming in, and so we're gonna be going into the office on those 3 days. So on Tuesday night, I get to disassemble my work computer and get it ready to pack, and then leave and get to work 30 minutes early so I can reassemble everything and be ready to clock in at 6:30 in the morning. So yeah, that is going to be fun. And they've remodeled the office since then as well. So, oh, look at something. Hold on. Yeah, give me just a second. I'm gonna unstitch that. I'm gonna go back here. Just a sec. More with me. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting being back in the office to see all the upgrades they did on the office, for one. Plus, see all the associates that I have not seen in over a year, and meet new associates that have started since the work from home order began. You know, actually be able to put a face to a name will be interesting. So yeah, that'll be very interesting. I do leave work early on Friday because I have an appointment, just a regular doctor's appointment. I hadn't been to see one in a while, so I figured it was time for a checkup. Just to double check I ain't got no issues that I haven't noticed. Did I forget a stitch? It's alright. I didn't forget it. When you think you forgot something. There we go. Alright, so my next one. That one. I'm going to do this stitch. And then yeah. Sorry, I totally just lost my train of thought. I know I was talking about work and taking off early on Friday, but I don't know. Brain, it's like, no, doesn't want to work anymore. Alright, let's see. Just going to do half stitches across because I'm going to end right back down in this area. I did not park these very well, in my opinion, because I prefer, like, I guess it's because I was parking from across here. I just parked at the first available spot. I prefer parking them in their first worked spot of the square that I'm working on. That way I can easily tell how far down, oops, I totally missed a square. Like how much, you know, how so like I can work at the bottom of the square and, you know, work up. You know, it's just easier that way. Okay. I hope everybody's been having a good stitchy day and a stitchy week. All right. Now we're going to fill in what I just stitched. Oh, yeah. Gotta make sure I grab right there. I've been, I feel like I've gotten a lot of stitching done. I know yesterday I put in, let's see, how many stitches did I get yesterday between projects? So let's see, 1, 2, so I got 300 between the two Biscore News. I got a little over 100 on Pandemic because I did pull that one out. I had to fix the error. I had found an issue with it and I put it in timeout. So I pulled it out last night and I fixed my issue with it and got it back on track. So it is now in working order, I guess you would say. So I can just pick it up and stitch on it when I'm ready, without having to worry about finding where I messed up at. Okay, and let's see. Now I have no idea how much I've gotten stitched on the stabbed project. I know I did get a lot of stitching on that yesterday. We were over at a friend's house playing my husband's pen and paper role-playing game. We're testing it to so we can get the kinks out of it so we can sell it, like, publish the game. So while we were working on that, I was stitching, you know, just because I can't focus on one thing at a time. I have to have something to keep my brain occupied while I think of things. Well, unfortunately, he's having to go and revamp it because we broke the system, like we had a feeling we would. And then, but the character creation works great. It's just the gameplay. We got to work out the gameplay a little more. Once we got done with all the character creation stuff and realized that the combat system isn't quite right, we put it all away and decided to play a board game. I really don't know the name of the game. It was interesting though. I'll have to reach out to them and get the name of the game, because I don't really remember the name. But what I was doing is the entire time while I was waiting for my turn, I would be stitching. So like I've gotten 90% of the flower completed on, I got 90%, I got like half of the flower completed on my pre-stamped cross stitch. And I have realized that that is probably the pattern I'm taking with me when I go to work, because with it already having the pattern already on there, I don't have to worry about having an electronic device that is not allowed at our workstation. So it solves one issue I have. And possibly also taking my baby Cthulhu, because that one's just fill. So I could do that one, because that one is like, I don't need the pattern keeper for it, because it's already outlined. It just needs to be filled in. So we will see. I know I should still have a good stitchy week this week, but I don't know how well my stitchy week's going to be next week, because I don't know how lenient they're going to be with cross stitching in the office. You know, I mean, I know I've seen people with stuff sewing up there, but I've never seen anybody cross stitching. So we will see how that day turns out. Pull my strands down, make sure they don't get tangled. Mark my stuff, not there. Park it, thank you. It was not parking it, it was just selecting it, goobers. Alright. Let's see. Alright, I have, is it this one? Yes. This one. Most likely once I finish this square, that probably will be the end of my stream today. This piece is almost done. Might go a few more stitches than what I have. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so that's, next week is going to be a little more interesting. But I won't be able to talk about it until my stitch with me, because I'm doing my floss tube on Tuesday, which is before I go into the office. So I won't have any more videos until my stitch with me on Saturday or Sunday. I never know if it's Saturday or Sunday. I don't know for sure what day it'll be. Because it all depends on what I'm doing. Saturdays are actually mainly designated for plasma donation days. So that's the only thing I have to do. But we've sometimes had visits with friends come up. And we normally do that on Saturdays. Because I don't have to worry about if we decide to stay out late. I don't have to worry about making sure I get enough sleep the next day. It's one of the main reasons I don't do anything during the week. Like, we don't really go hang out with anybody. Even if they offer, I'm more inclined to say no. Just because I know I'm a stickler, you know. I'm ready to be home. I want to relax and go to bed at a certain time. And I can't do that if we're out and about or over to a friend's house. And I don't. And it always seems to happen that we're hanging out and having a good conversation. And here I am going, yeah, look at the time, we need to go now. It just makes me feel bad. Nobody's upset with me about it, but it's just a personal feeling. Yeah, it just makes me feel bad that I'm forcing us to leave when we're having a good conversation. Because I want to make sure I get home for work. This is not going to be enough thread for all the stitches. I might have to start a thread. Who knows? There's my diagonal. Yep. Alright. Let's see, can I fill up the stitches I've already stitched? That is the question. I should be able to. Sometimes I like play this game in my head going, how far can I take the floss? You know, you call it floss chicken. How far can I take the floss? Yeah, I know I watch floss tubes all the time, and I do not see very many, like, not floss tubes, stitch with me's. I do not see very many people that stitch the way I stitch. 90% of everybody who stitches, they stitch from the left to right. Unless they're doing tent stitch. Now I will say I've seen tent stitch where they're doing it just the way that I finish my stitch. Because that's their first stitch. Like, I don't know how I would do tent stitch. I have not done tent stitch as of yet. I don't see this thread lasting more than another stitch. I might not even get, I'm not going to be able to do my loop finish. So luckily, since this is basically Ada, I'm going to just do a pin stitch. Ah! And I pull my thread right out of my needle. It's gonna fight me. Come on. Don't do that. This is definitely fighting me. Come on, let me get in here. There we go. Now there's the pin stitch. And now pull this up and snip it. I don't have much thread left at all. Alright, so I've got like 4 stitches. So let me finish off these 4 stitches. Grab my thread. Here, no, it's here. So my color is 824. That is this one. Get the thread. Of course, it wants to fight me. It knows I'm at the end of my string, so it's like, no, no, you can't have what you want. But I got it anyway. All right, so the way I'm going to start this is I think it's called the waist thread. So I'm gonna go down and then I'm gonna come up the bottom right hand corner. I'm gonna pull the thread through till I can almost not see the tail, but the tail is still there. I'm gonna pull down in the top left hand corner, up the bottom right hand corner, pull a little more taut, pull that tail on through, and there we go. Now I am stitching again. Just do just a little bit of a waist thread. I don't do a long strand. I don't do more than 2 or 3 boxes over from where I'm stitching at. And is that number 4 or 6? Yeah, I don't count the fighting with the chicken thread really as pulling through for no reason. So I'm gonna say that's the 4th time I've done that, and the 3rd time on screen, if I remember right. Alright, I've got these 2 and then 1 more stitch and I am done with this diagonal. I do think I'm going to continue working from up down. Like normally I would go down and then I would switch and then go up. I think I'm just going to continue going up. So when I finish down here, I'm going to move and automatically go back to the top instead of how I have been doing it. I think it'll just be better that way. Yeah. We will see. I will do it 1 round that way and then see how it turns out. Alright, let me mark my stitches. Alright, so that is 110 stitches. That is 110 stitches this hour. Not quite sure how I got 110. Oh yes, because before I started I filled in with the color I was missing over here. That's how. I was like, I just did 1 square. So I got 110 stitches in. I finished off my cup of tea. Let's pull this out. Now everybody can see how I've gotten still working on this wing. So we'll see how this continues to look. And I appreciate everybody coming in. If you all have hung out with me this far, I appreciate you being here and supporting me. And I hope everybody has a great week and they've had a great weekend. And I hope to see you next time, or you would come visit me again, because I don't see you. Whatever. Statistics. Bye everybody. Have a great night.